Hey, Quinlan. The Ripper strikes again. I guess we'll be seeing your work on the front page again. Another body and another byline.
You know, if you just catch this guy, Brandon, I could go back to writing the police blotter on page 12.
Sorry to hear about your partner. She was a nice girl. I liked him when she came around here.
She used to come down here?
Came down here all the time. She used to do your legwork.
Right. I can't do everything, can I? What about the library? That was the last place Stein was seen alive.
Standard operating procedures to copy all libraries. C-space files, that kind of stuff.
What? How can I get my hands on what they found?
Hell, Quinlan, it's a public library. We just copied the files. Everything's still there.
I'll tell you, Lou. Magnata wasn't all too together at the murder site.
It's lucky for you.
No, I'm serious. There was this one strange thing.
Strange?
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that he intentionally destroyed a piece of evidence.
It won't be the first time.
Well, he's done it before?
Yeah, he hides it, he destroys it, he withholds it, you name it.
And this is common knowledge.
Yeah, he's like king shit at a bounty collecting, and the chief gets a piece of it. I mean, what are you gonna do? You know how this place works.
Forensics come up with anything yet?
Apparently, this pathologist over at the Metacog, he's come up with this theory. He thinks that the Ripper may have been using nanomachines to do it. This is the hottest lead we got.
Nanomachines?
Yeah.
You know, Lou, I think it's time I bribe a photographer. Where's Stasiak?
He's in Wyoming.
Oh, come on, Brandon. He's the only guy I haven't really talked to. You never know what he might have picked up on.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. He picked up on too much. I'm not kidding with you. He went to Wyoming. The case was too much for him, and he took a leave of absence.
Stasiak. Cold Carl Stasiak.
Yeah. Get this. After the Stein murder, his wife calls and says Carl needed a little vacation. So that was it. He just got up, no goodbyes, no nothing. He didn't even give me a call.
Fuck.
Sorry.
Oh, Christ. What do you want?
Some respect, Spankowski. You know, you really shouldn't talk to me like that.
I shouldn't be talking to you at all, you goddamn leech. What do you want? Some of us gotta work for a living.
Right. I need the evidence in the Powell case.
No way, Quinlan. That could be my job.
Spanky, spanky, spanky. I own you. And you're just gonna have to learn to live with it. Or do you prefer I go down to the DA's office and tell them about a little evidence selling incident?
Jesus Christ, Quinlan. How long is this gonna go on, huh?
For the rest of your life. When I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna come in here and tell you to shine my shoes, and you're gonna jump and do it, asshole. So why don't you just go and get the evidence in the Powell case and be quick about it, or I'm gonna make you kiss my ass. You stop moving like a fucking turtle? Where's Catherine's whack?
Whack?
Her computer, asshole. It's supposed to be here.
Magnata took it home. He's always taking evidence. The guy thinks he owns the place.
Something on another murder case. Hamilton Warford, eh? Does this have something to do with the Ripper?
Object scanned into database. Object scanned into database.
Looking for something, Quinlan?
No, I just need to ask a few questions.
Because if I find out you're going through my stuff, I'll be glad to give you 72 hours on the tunes for tampering with an investigation.
Sling your shit at someone else, Magnata. It's not my fault you can't catch this guy.
No, let me see.
Who is Wofford?
You were looking at my stuff. Did you think I was kidding about arresting you?
Well, it's not like you were hiding it. And we already ran the story in the Herald, so it's not really news to me. He was a cyber architect, right? See, what interests me, though, Magnata, is that you have a month-old file lying on your desk. Does it have something to do with the Ripper?
You're lucky I'm in a good mood today, Quinlan, because you come this close to finding out what it's like to be a human shish kebab rotating in one of our fine penal institutions. But you're way off on that.
What's with this place you sent Catherine to?
Well, it's the best of its kind for flatliners. And it's got a doctor named Burton who practically invented the field. She's a real ball breaker, though.
What do you got on the Powell case?
Look, just because you two played tiddlywinks in your birthday suits doesn't mean I'm going to open police files for you. For all I know, you're a suspect. I mean, you were the only one there.
Any new developments?
Yeah, the pile of bodies is getting bigger. I got crazies coming out the woodwork to confess. This Ripper's been spotted more times than Elvis. The mayor's on my ass. She wants to revoke my jurisdiction. I don't break this soon, every cop in Manhattan be looking to get a piece of my bounty.
And you accuse me of getting rich off the Ripper. Are you aware that there's evidence missing in the Powell case?
What the hell are you talking about? There's no evidence missing.
Well, Catherine's whack, for example. Spankowski says you have it.
Well, then it's not missing, is it? Worry about your own business. Leave the police work to me.
Metacog, hold on. Metacog, hold on. Metacog, hold on. May I help you off with something?
Beg your pardon?
I said, can I help you? What'd you think I said?
Nothing. I'm looking for whoever's taking care of my girlfriend, Catherine Powell.
That would be Dr. Burton. Take the elevator to the second floor and make a right. If she's not there, go to ICU down the hall from there. Whatever you do, don't stand too close to her.
Why's that?
A little chilly.
Right. What can you tell me about this Dr. Burton?
She's the boss. I can't tell you anything. Not here anyway.
Where's Farley?
In the basement. Take the elevator, follow the smoke.
Smoke.
Yeah. As you know, Farley's not the cleanest pathologist going. But we haven't had any complaints from his patients yet. And he's a soft touch for a smoke. If it wasn't for him, we'd never have any fun around here.
What are you doing here?
My name's Jake Quinlan. I'm a friend of Catherine's.
Quinlan.
How is Catherine? Is she going to be all right?
It doesn't look good. Her consciousness is deeply withdrawn.
Withdrawn? What's that mean?
It means her mental processes, her memory, the basic building blocks of her personality are inaccessible.
You mean she's in there, but you can't reach her?
That's a best-case scenario. We haven't yet diagnosed her psychic damage.
Well, is she going to be all right?
It doesn't look good. She's still in triage. We're going to just have to wait and see.
What are you doing for her?
I'm not doing anything for her as long as I'm standing here talking to you. Why don't you let me get back to work?
How did the Ripper do this?
It's hard to tell. She had some minor contusions on her head, nothing fatal, but you never know with head injuries. We won't know anything until we can get a data angel in there to do some investigating.
You can get a data angel into the consciousness of someone in a coma?
I'm not sending anyone in there until I've had a chance to fully map her psychic damage. Now, if you don't mind.
I mind. How did Catherine survive the attack?
Who knows? Maybe she fought him off. More likely someone or something interrupted the Ripper before he could finish.
You here to check on Miss Powell?
Yeah. She looks pretty bad. Is there anything you can do for her?
She's in good hands. And she'll be in even better hands once Dr. Burton allows us to treat her.
Was there any hope for Catherine?
Not at the way we're going. We haven't even established an etiology, let alone begun to treat it. We've downloaded megabytes of fragmented images, sensations, memories, but not much that helps us at this point.
Anything that might help ID her attacker?
Well, there's an image on one of the monitors in the lab that's displaying an image we retrieved from Catherine's short-term memory. Now, she saw the person who attacked her, but in this condition, her mind can only assemble an extremely distorted image of him or her.
Well, can we make it clear and maybe use a computer to fill it out?
No. Catherine's brain will have to produce the image. The only way to help Catherine is to restore the memories and personality the Ripper destroyed.
What are Dr. Burton's plans for treating her?
If she has something in mind, she hasn't told me about it. She's blocking everything except the most conservative treatments. We've started to assemble data on the patient's past. We're maintaining life support. That's it.
Well, so fucking what? I mean, she doesn't know what to do. I thought she was the best in her field.
She's one of the best. I don't know what it is about this case. There's something here she's not telling us.
Have the cops said anything?
No, not to me. Dr. Burton's the attending physician. Although I have noticed that scary-looking detective who checked Powell in keeps coming back. Him and Burton got into it yesterday.
They had a fight.
Oh, that's an understatement. They look ready to kill each other. God knows what it was about.
I don't understand this. How can you rebuild Catherine's memory?
Well, the way we always do in a case like this. We assemble all the data we can about the patient's past. Life experiences, food she likes to eat, favorite movies, information on who her friends were. Then we upload all that back into the brain and hope that it triggers enough associative reactions to restore her memory.
What are the odds of this working?
Success rate's very high. I mean, we may not retrieve everything, but we should get around 90% or so.
What can I do to help restore that image of the Ripper?
Dig up everything you can about the Ripper, especially anything Catherine knew about the case. Now, of course, none of it's going to be of any use until Dr. Burton allows us to send a data angel into her brain, but we'll worry about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like a holographic journal. Could be worth looking at.
Our options are pretty limited here. I tried direct cortex stimulation. It's risky, but there's a chance of it working.
It's too risky. We could lose her that way.
Well, we could try inserting data angels for a diagnostic. There's no risk in that.
I disagree. We've no idea what's left of her natural defenses. The trauma could have made them even harder to penetrate.
All right, look, then let's run the Norton Mapper program so we can obtain a Gestalt profile and a cortical landscape. Then we know what we're dealing with.
You mean that hasn't been done yet? Why not?
Because I said so. I want her to stabilize before we introduce any kind of foreign code. Now, thanks for the consultation, but that's my decision.
How much more stable does she want the woman? She's in a coma.
What's her problem? She won't do anything. We're supposed to watch this patient die?
She's in charge. There's not much we can do.
The answer to the mystery. If I can only make this image clear, we will have our killer. Hey, Vic. What's for lunch?
Hey, Quinlan!
They working you hard?
Working me like crazy these days.
Hey, is this Renee Stein?
Are you kidding? You were at the crime scene. You saw her insides splattered everywhere.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Nah, this woman was married to her ripper. This was a businessman away on a trip for 3 weeks. He gets paranoid that his partner's putting it to her while he's gone, so he flies home early and shoots her to death. I mean, stuff like that. That's why I never got married, you know? I have my chances, though, you know?
Any luck figuring out the Ripper's weapon yet?
I'm completely stumped. I did every test on these tips. I mean, a computer cross-matched the wounds with every kind of blade imaginable. Nothing. I mean, it's like a cross between a Vegematic and a diamond cutter.
Come on, Vic. Something must have cut these people open.
Nothing these computers can find. Now, you don't believe me? Look at those control panels by the steps.
You hear about my partner?
Who's that?
Catherine Powell. She was attacked by the Ripper. Somehow she got away. She's upstairs in a coma. Dr. Burton's treating her.
Oh, your friend's in good hands. Burton's a good doctor. And if she gets stuck, she'll probably call in her secret weapon.
What's that?
A guy named Joey Falconetti.
Joey Falconetti. Who's Joey Falconetti?
Cyberspace expert that Burton uses on all the tough cases. Also known by his old C-Space handle, Falconetti. Get it? Crazy guy. Likes looking at the bodies. I'm surprised she hasn't called him in yet to look at your friend.
What do you mean?
Well, he's the best there is on human-to-human decking. She usually calls him in on that kind of stuff, but not on the Ripper work. Notice the path of the cut. Not 1 centimeter offline, like a seam was undone. Now, no human could have done this.
Because humans aren't strong enough?
It's not just strength, it's precision. He's cutting through skin, muscle, bone. No way this cut could be so neat. I'll tell you what else is weird. There are no traces of fabric in the wound. I tapped the nerve memory of this victim and fed it into the simulator so that I could reenact the attack. $1 million piece of hardware. And look what it gives me.
Jesus. Looks like she swallowed a fucking grenade.
Here's an isolation of just one of the organs from this body. The lines indicate the many cuts made to this organ. The sheer number of cuts isn't the only amazing thing, though. Watch this. All of those cuts happen simultaneously. Human hand can't move that fast. And it was like this for every organ in the body.
Is Burton all she's cracked up to be?
Best in her field. She and I don't quite see eye to eye all the time, but she's good. No question about it.
So how come some people at the Medicog say she's dogging it on this one?
Because they don't know what they're talking about. She's never dogged anything in her life, so far as I know.
Sounds like you know her, Magnata.
Well, she'd have to have about 20 more pounds. And 50 less IQ points for me to be interested.
Can you tell me anything about this guy named Falconetti?
Joey Falconetti. He's an overrated hacker. 2-time loser trying to hit the big time.
Really? Farley tells me he's an ace angel. In fact, I hear that Burton consults with him every time her back's up against the wall.
He's got his hooks in her. But just cause that grifter bastard's a snake charmer doesn't make him an ace angel. I'm usually real cooperative with the press. You know that. But watch yourself on this one, Quinlan.
Hey, Ben.
How's Catherine today?
No change.
Damn. This guy's the devil himself.
Ben, you know this cop Magnata?
Typical new breed cop. One of those guys started arresting people in volume when cops started collecting bonuses. He's been more aggressive than most.
Yeah, that's common knowledge, but what's his story?
He's killed 6 people in the line of duty, some under questionable circumstances. He's bad news. I wouldn't mess with him, Quinlan.
Okay. Didn't we run anything on this Wofford murder?
Yep. Cyber architects. They lived near the old Central Park. Somebody put a bullet in Hamilton Wofford's head. Cops don't have a motive yet. They probably had a lot of money stashed away in that cottage, but there's no evidence of a robbery.
You ever hear of a Joey Falconetti, Ben?
No, the name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't quite place it.
A computer with a deck port. Can never have too many of those. Catherine's address file. As good a place to find a clue as any.
cyberspace. Virtual library.
I could use some help here. You're a human presence, I assume.
Everyone at a service desk is. The library doesn't use smart sprites for public interface. You don't read much, do you?
Did you see a woman named Renee Stein recently?
Records place her here, but she didn't check anything out, and I don't remember seeing her.
Have the cops talked to you?
They asked questions, but I couldn't tell them much. They copied all the files from the Victorian root directory and ordered us not to alter the file structures until the case is solved.
So any clues left from the day Stein was killed would still be here?
Guess so. I sure didn't take them.
A note with some call numbers on it. Could Renee Stein have left this here? Can you help me with this call number?
I'm sorry. This is not a valid call number. It appears Stein altered the reference matrix, but an unknown book was distributed. If you could unscramble the call number, I could help you. Wait, Quinlan. That's a valid call number. I'll get the book.
A book about the original Jack the Ripper. Can't be a coincidence. Renee Stein must have used this. But what does it mean?
All I can do for you is recommend something to read, Quinlan. How about Mailer's email to myself? I'm not sure what the point of it is, but it's really long.
Exit cyberspace.
A laser cane. Wonder what this inscription means. J. Dorset. Catherine's crystals. I always thought they were a little too neo-new agey for Catherine.
Dynamics operating system.
Exit cyberspace. Catherine's well.
I am Detective Vincent Magnotta of the New York City Allied Police Force's Soho Corps. This is a restricted crime scene. You must leave the area immediately. This will be your only warning.
Catherine's notes on the Ripper case. My most important clue to learning what happened to her.
Exit cyberspace.
So, Beatty? Name's Quinlan. I'm a friend of Catherine Powell's.
I was wondering when you're going to come by. I read about Catherine in the paper. Told her she was getting too close to that maniac.
Well, she never told me anything about you. What was she coming to see you about?
Take it easy, cowboy. Mine hasn't worked in years. Besides, Catherine didn't dig the training wheels. I was her source, and that was it.
What did you do for Catherine?
Like I do for anybody. I do what needs doing. I run a little B&E in the net, melt some ice, do a little handwriting analysis. Hey, I got my code for everything.
Well, selling smoke and melting ice don't go together. Strange qualifications for a shopkeeper.
Hey, in the net, everything isn't linked, Quinlan. The shop is the shop. In cyberspace, I can walk. I can run. I can fucking dance, baby.
What do you sell?
Whatever you need, Mr. Quinlan. Whatever you need. Just received a full shipment of Virginia Red Leaf, laced with Lucitrel. Got a full range of smart drugs. You know, to catch the Ripper, you're gonna have to outthink him. And for what Catherine tells me, you can use chemical assistance.
What was she investigating?
She was trying to make a connection between the Ripper's murder victims.
So you're like a deck jock, then? Are there any new innovations in cyberspace I should know about?
Well, notional engineering made some big advances, but the basic idea is still the same. Most of the angels you meet will be pre-packaged product from Trans-Tech or Rembus environment. Only the ace angels can design their own wings.
So there shouldn't be any surprises waiting for me?
I didn't say that. I mean, it's just that things will look familiar. Everybody you meet will either be a rendered image or a video image that looks awfully real. Of course, you only get video from the best hackers or from direct brain images.
What do you think about the ice soap?
Why are you so worried about ice?
I have a feeling it's going to get worse.
Your girlfriend had the same feeling. There's some really bizarre stuff on the net these days, ever since Rembus came up with that software with the Ice Maker program. You know, anybody with a deck can construct their own ice.
Bizarre stuff.
Oh yeah, attack dogs, giant rats, minefields, monkey balls, you name it. I can't tell you how to prepare for that world, brother. You's on your own.
Object scanned into database.
Who goes there? Murderer! Murderer!
Of the English language, maybe. I'm just a journalist.
Beware you. I've got weapons here that can render you helpless.
Relax, old timer. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm just after some information.
You, sir, stand in my domain, and the question is, who are you? Speak quickly.
I'm Jake Quinlan from the Virtual Herald.
Quinlan, I know that name. You're the one who speaks for the Ripper.
No, I don't speak for him. He just writes me letters and we print them. They're news. But who are you? I thought the owner of this house was dead.
One of them is my twin brother, Hamilton. And he finished what he called the most fascinating project of his life. And then I found him, shot dead right here in this room. And I thought he'd just fallen asleep.
What did the police tell you?
The police, bah! I'm sure they're in on it.
Do you think the police are in on your brother's murder?
It's obvious the way they were rooting around in Hamilton's work. Kept asking him for his well address and threatened to lock me up if I didn't tell them. But they got nothing out of me. They took away cartons of his discs. But they won't find anything there. Hamilton was too smart for them to.
Was the cop a guy named Magnata?
Yeah. Yes. I should have vaporized him. You'll get nothing out of me.
I'm sure. Why don't you tell me about your brother's work?
You don't know? He was famous. Or he should have been. He built virtual worlds, places from history and locations from the future, and you walk through them in cyberspace like walking through the corridors of time itself. And he was a genius like Leonardo.
What was he working on in the end?
As I told you, mum's the word, as he would say, and all I know it was something involving stranger research than usual. And he came out of cyberspace one night and he told me he'd spent the day in an English music hall. And that's all I can remember.
Wow. Who was your brother working for?
What makes you so sure that I know?
We all confide in someone. A brother's a good place to start.
I don't know. Hamilton.
Hey, you all right?
He's dead.
I know, it's hard. But you must have some way to at least find out who he was working for.
My brother thought that he was protecting me, I suppose. Yeah. Of course, how's the killer supposed to know he didn't tell me everything? Besides, I'm trustworthy as the day is long. It's not like I'm gonna tell anyone about his secret hiding places.
Excuse me, what are you talking about? What about hiding places?
You know about the hiding places, huh? Well then, you know more than I do. Hamilton was like Leonardo. I tell you, with devices and concealments, components hidden in secret compartments all over the blasted house. If I could just find them, I could plug them in and get his, well, address. But I don't know where the hell half of them are anymore. Maybe I should just clean the whole place out and move.
But in other words, I have to locate and unlock secret compartments in this cottage to find the address to Hamilton's cyberspace well?
well, yeah, that's the idea. Doubt you're clever enough to do it, though. Doubt you can do it.
Another antique. The Woffords have quite a collection. I see these old guys don't get around to fixing things.
You snoop around too much. For your own good. I'm more dangerous than I look. I warn you.
Operating system.
Exit cyberspace. Wofford Well.
This is really strange. Books, pictures, and references to Victorian England. The old man must have been constructing a virtual Victorian environment at the time of his murder. But why? A scale model for what looks like a Victorian city. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent. But what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here.
Exit cyberspace.
Dynamics operating system.
Exit cyberspace. Wofford Well. Virtual library. Virtual herald. Exit cyberspace. Wofford Well.
This is really strange. Books, pictures, and references to Victorian England. The old man must have been constructing a virtual Victorian environment at the time of his murder. But why? Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye This is really strange. Books, pictures, and references to Victorian England. The old man must have been constructing a virtual Victorian environment at the time of his murder. But why? A scale model for what looks like a Victorian city. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. scale model for what looks like a Victorian city. Apparently, the Woffords did most of their notional modeling in this well. The virtual tools of the trade were apparent, but what caught my eye was the scale model of a virtual city that was stored here. A scale model for what looks like a Victorian city.
Exit cyberspace.
Look, Quinlan, I told you everything I know. Now, will you get the hell out of here before you get me in trouble?
I'm usually real cooperative with the press. You know that. But watch yourself on this one, Quinlan.
Did you hear anything from Magnata today?
That guy's been on everybody's ass today, so I'm keeping out of it.
Smart.
You want me?
Beg your pardon?
What is it you want?
Just some answers to some questions.
5547786.
Right. Not that one. I was gonna ask you different questions. I have to see my girlfriend, Nicole. Excuse me. I'll be right back.
Bye. Girl, did he really tell you that? No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No. Oh, hold on. Sorry, handsome. I'm kind of busy, but I'm off on a break in a little while. If you're interested in hanging out with somebody who's not in a coma. No, I'm back. Yeah. No, did you really?
Do you think Catherine's notes on the Ripper will help restore her memory?
Those would be ideal. Except what you show me seems to be scrambled. And Dr. Burton still hasn't allowed anyone to take into the patient's mind.
Right. The answer to the mystery. If I can only make this image clear, we will have our killer.
Our options are pretty limited here. I tried direct cortex stimulation. It's risky, but there's a chance of it working.
It's too risky. We could lose her that way.
Well, we could try inserting data angels for a diagnostic. There's no risk in that.
I disagree. We've no idea what's left of her natural defenses. The trauma could have made them even harder to penetrate.
All right, look, then let's run the Norton Mapper program so we can take a stall profile and a cortical landscape. Then we know what we're dealing with.
You mean that hasn't been done yet? Why not?
Because I said so. I want her to stabilize before we introduce any kind of foreign code. Thanks for the consultation, but that's my decision.
How much more stable does she want, the woman? She's in a coma.
What's her problem? She won't do anything. Are we supposed to watch this patient die?
She's in charge. There's not much we can do.
Where can I find this Falconetti?
Difficult guy to find. Burton usually goes to a guy named Gamut Nelson. He passes the time at the Café Duchamp.
Duchamp, Vic.
Duchamp. Well, you can find him there.
Is that a Quentin model whack you've got there? Let me see. I've been grepping for one of these for months. These are tough to find if you're not in the professions. What are you, a lawyer?
Reporter for the Herald.
Low end of the pay scale, eh?
Tell me about it.
You should work for yourself. There are thousands of ways to make money in the net. Believe me, I know.
Do you know Joey Falconetti?
Joey Falconetti. I haven't done business with that scoundrel in years. Talk about profiteering and net.
But do you know him?
Eddie and I owned part of an emoticon franchise. You know, one of those sea-spaced emotional counter zones? This was years ago. Legitimate business, you see, but Eddie's a thief by nature. Robbed it blind. We had to sell out to some Palestinians in New Dallas. I haven't worked with Eddie since, but I keep an eye on him so he doesn't pilfer any of my holdings.
Do you know where I can find Falconetti?
You don't. The Falcon usually finds you and takes your money.
Well, lucky for me, I'm broke. A grave digger named Farley at the Metacog told me that you might be a link to find him.
What's your interest? You out to kill him?
Well, it's not killing I had in mind.
Well, somebody's gonna whack that bird one of these days. Eddie's consciousness is inside a few hundred terabytes of well space with his body safely hidden. I set Metacog up with a guy named Twig. Lives out in Hoboken. He seems to always know where Eddie's at. Eddie usually presents himself with video. He likes to show off.
Hoboken. Mr. Nelson, what's your background with cyberspace?
Got some time. It would take a while. I've been decking with the global net since it went online. Present at the creation, you might say. That's why thugs like Falconetti disappoint me. Damn waste of talent.
Been reading your copy, Quinlan. You might nail this freak before the police do.
Just asking questions, seeing where the answers take me. Kind of slow in here.
Yeah, the Rippers really put a damper on anonymous sex these days.
How about a beer?
Yeah, sure thing. Why don't you try this one? It's called Viper Pills. Goes down real smooth. It's got some bite. On the house. Just nail the Ripper so that my customers can get drunk in public again, huh?
Okay. Cheers. What do you know about Gambit Nelson?
Gambit? Gambit's been coming in here for years. The man has seen it all. He can remember when the net went online. Back when there weren't any wells, and cyberspace was nothing but a bunch of isolated BBSs.
Must be a first-generation Decker.
He was one of the first sea-space entrepreneurs. He made a killing on the net. All of it's legal. It's weird, huh? You know, a good guy wins for once in a blue fucking moon.
Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure 120/70.
You must be Jake Quinlan looking for the Falcon.
How do you know who I am?
Gambit called ahead. It's strange. Burton usually sends Dr. Cable whenever she's in trouble.
Oh, news travels fast.
I guess.
Pulse 58. Respiration normal.
Tell me, Twig, is Eddie as good as his rep?
Best I've ever seen, and I'm no amateur. He can deck for days straight and keep sharp. No paranoia, no mental fatigue, no loss of rationality. Of course, it doesn't hurt to have someone like me, cooking for him.
Cooking? You keep him drugged?
Hey, even an archangel like the Falcon needs medication. Extended decking, very hard on the dendrites, man. And they took us. Lots of sitting.
Pulse 58.
I could imagine.
Respiration normal.
Where's Falconetti?
Not a simple question. He's usually in 2 places at once.
Blood pressure 120/70.
Tell Burton and Cable they gotta beg in person
Pulse
for Eddie's
58.
aid.
Respiration normal.
Don't play games with me, Circuit Head. Lives are at stake. See, I don't have time to trade one-liners with a goddamn glorified houseboy. You don't give me Falconetti in 5 seconds. I'm gonna email your address to Detective Magnotta, and you won't be dancing with any shadows in a maximum security prison.
Don't blow your motherboard because Burton's getting lazy. That's her problem, not mine.
Blood pressure 120/70.
Falcon is playing in one of his wells. The address is Circus Maximus. I'd suggest trying a different approach with him if you're planning on cooperation.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
My pleasure.
Pulse 58. Respiration normal. Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus. Blood pressure 120/70. Pulse 58. Respiration normal. Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus.
Dynamics operating system.
Exit cyberspace. Falconetti Circus.
Looking for Falconetti? Well, I think you got him.
What the fuck is going on here?
It's a 40 gigabyte virtual environment. Made it myself. Pretty impressive, huh? Think of it like a game room, and you're my favorite toy. You're called the Answer Doll, and the idea is I throw a knife, and you answer a question. Who the fuck sent you? Ah, shit!
Kiss my ass. You want to talk to me? You get me down from here.
An ass kissing? That's a pretty high order. Not a smart move for somebody in your position. You got bald, buddy. Ah!
I have a friend in trouble. She needs help.
I love showing up clear. First, you gotta show me what you're worth in cyberspace. I'm gonna work with you. I can see if you can handle yourself.
What are you talking about?
If you shoot a bad guy, you get a point. You shoot a good guy, You lose. I had high score. You beat it and we'll talk.
Okay. I shoot good.
In case you forgot, my score was higher.
Come on! Go for the gold, Quinlan!
Wofford Well. Falconetti Circus.
Nice shooting, cowboy. Reckon you can fly with the Falcon after all. How's about you and me back at the Hacienda?
Now, you wouldn't be lying to me now, would you, Eddie? Because I've been to your house, and you weren't there.
Well, just because you can't see me doesn't mean I'm not there. Talk to Twig. He'll be expecting you.
Exit cyberspace. Monitoring Helen 1, Circus Maximus.
Play straight with me, Twig. I'm all played out. I want to see your boss in the flesh.
Relax. He wired me on the Ethernet. He's on the other side of the door behind me. Once I open it, though,
Helen 1, Circus Maximus.
you're on your own.
Blood pressure 120/70. Pulse 58. Respiration normal.
Christ, I feel like a fucking corpse. For you, I had to come up for air. Hey, Twig, you lazy piece of shit! What kind of cheap-ass nootropics you feed me? I can barely keep up with the data transfer in there. Wonder I lost that fucking contest. All right, hotshot. What do you want?
There's this detective named Magnata working the case. Won't tell me much.
You say Magnata? Christ. He's worse than fucking criminals.
Sounds like you know him.
Know him. I know him. I know I'd like to blow his fucking brains out.
Well. How did an outlaw like you hook up with a respected doctor like Burton?
Mean she didn't tell you? Babe has the hots for me. Has for years.
Does she? What's your take on the Ripper, Eddie?
Holy shit, I just realized you're the one he writes to. He's the only reason to read the rags. Fucking guy's incredible. He gets in there, paints the room in blood like Jackson Pollock on crack, and gets out without a trace. And that's buzzing about this psycho.
You sound like his #1 fan.
I can't get the guy out of my head. His stealth, his tools. I've been collecting knives for 30 years. I don't have a clue what kind of blade he's using.
My friend and partner was attacked by the Ripper.
If you're going through all this for a woman, I assume you're doing her. Do crazy shit for love, don't we?
Yeah, I'm beginning to think so. What's with all these knives?
Well, for one, I'd say they're sharp.
I didn't mean that.
Oh, I see. I collect knives, and there's a serial killer loose. Knives equal killer, right? Gee, I heard you reporter types were smart, but heck, you're way over my head here.
Okay. Look, Eddie, why don't you help me out with Catherine?
Why should I risk my ass for you?
You could piss off your old enemy, Magnata.
Here's the deal. I've been in cyberspace for 80 hours. I gotta collect from 2 bookies, eat a big steak. I'm dying for some real food and sweat these cheap-ass nootropics out of my system. It'll take a couple hours. I'll meet you at the ICU later. Then we'll see what a genius can do about your babe.
Great. I'll see you there. I was beginning to think I was in a bad mystery novel where everyone did it. It was also beginning to look like I didn't know Catherine as well as I thought I did. The private sources, the research she'd been up to, and the secret meeting with the Ripper. And she never told me a thing.